I have a question for you.
Sure.
About a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, you said Steph Curry, if he wants to go see another NBA Finals, ever play in the NBA Finals again, he has to leave Golden State to do that. Here's my question. What was it for you that made you think at any point if Klay's healthy, I'm healthy, and Steph's healthy all at the same time, that we couldn't do it again just like we did it before? Because I just want to know, this whole notion is like, once Kevin left, the whole world wrote us off. Like, that is the end, as if we didn't do it before. So I just want to know the thinking behind that. Help me understand that, Colin.
All right. So this is a big brain. There's a lot of stuff moving in there.
Absolutely.
So in a cap league, I think my takeaway, and I do 3 hours a day, so I don't know where I was then, but my sense was Steph had some injuries. Klay was hurt again. Draymond, it's easier to remain a good offensive player in the league than a great defensive player because defense is much harder. There's going to be cap issues. You're paying all of them. A couple of the draft picks were, This was like before we knew Jordan Poole was going to work. And my takeaway is injuries, really expensive. I don't think it's going to work. And the West is getting better. Remember, at that time, I think Paul had come in, Kawhi had come in, LeBron had come in, AD. And I'm thinking, two things in sports that are bad: expensive and old. And so I thought, yeah, it's time to bail. Now, of course, history has proved that I was an idiot. But in that moment, I thought I was Einstein. I thought I was really onto something. But man, you talk 3 hours a day. You know what it's like? That's my version of a 4-turnover game. I just didn't have it.
I can respect that. I can respect. You know, honestly though, Colin, number one, 3 hours a day is insane. I was speaking to someone, they're like, what you want to do when you're done? I'm like, yeah, I want to do some of this. And they like, yo, you know, Colin and those guys, they do 3 hours a day. I'm like, I'm not sure I can quite do 3 hours a day. That's absolutely incredible. It's you, it's Stephen A. It's like, I just don't understand how y'all can focus on sports that long, be as precise and potent as you guys are. So kudos, I take my hat off to y'all for that. It's absolutely incredible. But where I will cut you a little slack is here. Most people thought we were older than we are. Like, I think we start winning at such a young age. Like, I won my first championship. Our first championship, Klay and I were 25. Right. And so, and then we go to 5 straight finals. So from 25 to 30, we're in the NBA Finals. 30 isn't old, but when you see guys for 5 years straight at the highest level, it's going to give you this mindset and these thoughts of that we are older than we really are, than we truly are. And I think that's what happened with a lot of people. It's like, they're old, they're this. And it's like most guys in the league are somewhere around our age. You know, you obviously have a bunch of young guys, but like they say from what, 28 to 33 is your prime? And it's like, oh man, those guys are done because they're old. And so I get it. Because I actually had that problem in college where my first 2 years I went to the Final Four. And then the next 2 years I'm playing college basketball. And everybody like, man, you still in college? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm only a junior. Like, I still have a couple more years left. And so I do think some of that was definitely a product of so much winning in a short amount of time. But on the flip side of that, and I'll be 100% honest with you, I haven't told anyone this. As much as I believed we would be good again, I can't say that I was so certain that with the way our roster had turned over, that we would win a championship again. Because like you said, we had myself, we had Steph, we had Klay. But the roster turned, like if you look at some of those teams, if you look at some of those lineups that I was out there with in the year we won 15 games, I'd be a fool and a liar and full of shit, which I try to pride myself on not being, if I told you in that moment, I'm still like, yeah, we're going to compete for championships. Like, we can. I mean, some of those lineups, I was the point guard, and Eric Pascal was the 2, and Amari Spellman was the 3, and Willie Cauley-Stein was the 4, and Kevon Looney was the 5. Like, we saw some of those things. And so I get it. I definitely understand it. But it still pisses me off that y'all would just count us out like we haven't done this before. It's crazy.